opinions and do not necessarily represent the opinions of Multnomah Community Television.
Welcome to the Cosmic Connection. What you're about to hear and see may well disturb you, but please keep an open mind. You may find that the information offered on Cosmic Connection differs from anything in your previous experience. The views and opinions discussed here are not necessarily those of the organization broadcasting this program, and they are certainly not endorsed by the government of this United States of America. Our government continually seeks to suppress the investigation of unidentified flying objects and all other subjects of a like nature. These opinions, however, are not the views of hucksters or charlatans trying to exaggerate the importance of the message in order to exploit the public for their own gain. On Cosmic Connection, you'll see and hear from honest, thoughtful people whose only desire is to understand the remarkable experiences they've been party to. To shed light is our motive here, and in that spirit, let me now welcome you to the Cosmic Connection and to your host, the Cosmic Connector.
I joined the forces in March of 1942 and left in 1952. The 10 years I spent serving my country were some of the best years of my life. My father was in the movie business, which meant he had good knowledge about the workings of cameras and photography. For this reason, I believe I passed a medical that would not normally allow me in due to polio as a child. After my enrollment in training, I was able to use my camera skills and become one of the few dedicated cameramen in the forces. I was sent to many places, and it was wartime. I fast learned the ability of filming under difficult circumstances. I will not give more detail on my background, only to say that in the fall of 1944, I was assigned to intelligence, working to the assistant of the Chief of Staff. I was moved around depending on assignment during my time. I filmed a great deal, including the test at White Sands. That was the Manhattan Project in Trinity. I remember very clearly receiving a call to go to White Sands. I had not long returned from St. Louis, where I had filmed the new ramjet, Little Henry. George C. McDonnell was the first Air Force Chief of Staff, and that was in June 1st of that year. For intelligence, he was most likely Assistant Air Chief and Staff for Intelligence in June of 1947. He asked me to report to General McCullen and the Air Command in Washington for a special assignment. I had no experience working with General McCullen, but after talking with him for a few minutes, I knew that I would never wish to be his enemy. McCullen was straight to the point, no messing. I was ordered to a crash site just southwest of Socorro. It was urgent, and my belief was to film everything in sight, not to leave the debris until it had been removed, and I was to have access to all areas of the site. If the commander in charge at the site had a problem with that, I was told to get them to call McMillan. A few minutes after my orders from McMillan, I received the same instructions from Toohey in Washington, D.C., saying it was the crash site of a Russian spy plane. 2 generals in one day. This job was important. I flew out from Andrews with 16 other officers and personnel, mostly medical. We arrived at Wright Pat and collected some more equipment. From there, we flew to Roswell on a C-54 When we got to Roswell, we were transported by road to the site. When we arrived at the site, it had already been cordoned off from start. It was plain to see that it was no Russian spy plane. It was a large disc, flying saucer on its back, with heat still radiating from the ground around it. The commander on site handed over to the SAC medical team that were there still waiting for Kenny. He was the commander at the time. He was supposedly away on inspection. However, nothing had been done, as everyone was just waiting for orders. It was decided to wait until the heat subsided before moving in after the fire. That was a significant risk. This was made all over worse by the screams of the freak screechers that were lying by the vehicle. What in God's name could they be? There were no more to tell. But one thing's for sure, they were certainly freaks. Creatures with no business here. Each one had a box which they kept in both their arms close to the chest. They just lay there crying, holding the boxes. Once my tent had been set up, I started filming immediately. First the vehicle, then the site and debris. Along with that, the filming must have been done under artificial light at the time because it was night. At around 6 o'clock, it was deemed safe to move in. Again, the freaks were still crying, and when approached, they screamed even louder. They were protective of their boxes. We managed to get one of them loose with a firm strike at the head of the freak with the butt of a rifle. The 3 freaks were dragged away and secured with rope and tape. The other was already dead. The medical team was reluctant at first to go near the freaks, but as some were injured, they had no choices. Once the creatures were collected, the priority was to collect all debris that could be removed easily, as there was still a risk of fire. The debris seemed to come under interior struts, which were supporting a very small disc on the underside of the craft, which must have snapped off when the disc flipped over. The debris was taken to tents stations for logging, then loaded into trucks. After 3 days, a full team from Washington came down, and this decision was taken to move the craft. Inside, the atmosphere was very heavy. It was impossible to stay no longer than a few seconds without feeling very sick. Therefore, it was decided to analyze it back at the base, so it was loaded onto a flat top and taken to Wright-Patterson, where I joined it. I stayed at Wright-Pat for a further 3 weeks working on the debris. I was told to report to Fort Worth for filming of an autopsy. Normally I would not have a problem with this, but it was discovered that the freaks may be a medical threat. Therefore, I was required to wear the same protective suits as the doctors. It was impossible to handle the camera properly. Loading and focusing was very difficult. The fact, against orders, I removed my suit during the filming. The first 2 autopsies took place in July of 1947. After filming, I had several hundred reels. I separated problem reel, which requires special attention and processing. These I do a lot later. The first batch was processed, and I processed the remainder in a few days later. Once the remaining reels had been processed, I contacted Washington to arrange collections of the final batch. Incredibly, they never came to collect or arrange any transportation for them. I called many times and then just gave up. The footage has remained with me ever since. In May of 1949, I was asked to film the 3rd autopsy.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Cosmic Connection, your UFO connection for the Pacific Northwest. October 15th, 1995, we're on the CAN Network, Channel 11, live at 6 p.m. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. That script that you just heard was a statement supposedly given by the cameraman who filmed the autopsy of 1947 of the alleged crash at Roswell. We are a live call-in talk show dealing with the UFO phenomenon. You may call us live at 667-7434. I'd also like to let you know that we can be reached through our post office box at 86186, Portland, Oregon 97286. Please send us a self-addressed stamped envelope. And any comments or suggestions, pro or con, about our program, any information that you wish to receive, please let us know what you would like. Send us a self-addressed stamped envelope, and we'd be more than happy to take care of you. Those of you who have written, your letters have been answered. The packets are in the mail, and I'm sure you're looking forward to receiving some of those. Please bear with us that the mail does take a little while, so please be patient. Also, I'd like to thank the fine folks out at the La Costa Mexican Restaurant for supplying us with their fine Mexican fiesta platters. Roberto Aguilera out there at 7425 Southwest Barber Boulevard, and that's the La Costa Mexican Restaurant. We'd like to thank them. Ladies and gentlemen, I understand we have a telephone call. Let's take one call right now. Hello, welcome to the Cosmic Connection. You're on.
Yeah, hi there.
Hello.
You hear me?
Yes, your name,
good.
please.
Okay, because I had to turn the TV down. But my question is that we're seeing all these, like the handprint things behind you there.
Correct,
and
the control panels, the alleged
metal
control
bars
panels.
and the metal bars and the bodies. And I'm
Yes.
just curious, how come I haven't seen this before? Or how come, I mean, I want to know, where is that stuff? Is it in a museum? Can we go see it? Or is this more alleged cover-up stuff? Or is it just made in Hollywood?
Well, it's up in the air right now. What you are seeing is the very first video footage that I don't believe it has been shown on Fox yet. This is autopsy debris of the wreckage claimed to have been picked up out at the Roswell debris site.
See, what scares me is they didn't have that kind of video technology back then. So are these videos made from
No,
tape?
these are not videos. This cameraman was a film cameraman. They filmed it. And if you've seen the autopsy Fact or Fiction on the Fox networks with the statement stating that these films were shot in 1947, the Kodak people have looked into it, and this is 1947 stock film.
Okay, my only last thing is here that we do have Spielberg and those kind of guys out there now.
Correct.
And anybody who can take a piece of film, make it look real, and that was, when I saw this first, that was my instant gut reaction.
And what was that?
And that there's something phony about it.
And your name?
John.
John, okay, John. Now what okay, I understand. What is it that you see that's phony?
It was a gut reaction, just to see it here first.
Sure.
And maybe I'm not giving you any
No, I understand that. I understand that. I think first reactions
I've
are
been
fine.
looking around for this stuff for years and just never seen it in this form.
You've been what now?
I was just kind of surprised that it would appear, locally here in Portland, and not anywhere else.
Sure.
And
all I can tell you,
I actually have to get going now, but thanks a lot.
John, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Next caller, line 8. Hello, welcome to the Cosmic Connection. Hi. All right. Ron, good afternoon, my friend. Hello, we have an in-studio co-host again. Ron is here. Dennis had to step out. He went to take care of some pressing matters. Ron, I understand that you did that as a cold read, and I thank you very much. What's your opinion of this film that we've been showing here?
Well, I've seen the film that Fox aired just recently, within a few weeks ago, and with all the professionals that they had on there, a couple of the pathologists, who was a very, very well-renowned pathologist, took a look at the autopsy.
Professionals meaning the Hollywood people.
Well, both Hollywood and also the pathologist that took a look at the autopsy.
Cyril Wecht.
Right. And from his comments and from the comments of the special effects people at Hollywood, it was a very, very surprising film to them that in the technology in 1947 would be very, very difficult to duplicate with the technology we have today. And even with the Kodak people who had authenticated the film as being from that era. So that's what we have to go on.
Sure. The control panels that you see behind me, these are the alleged control panels taking out of the craft. If you'll notice, there are 6 digits there coinciding with the alien body that had the autopsy performed on it. Dennis and I have received a master tape of some of the footage that has not been shown on national television of the wreckage here, also of the autopsy. It is very graphic. You saw some of the graphic displays of the autopsy at the beginning of our program. It's some very in shocking detail. I understand the skeptics out there. They want to sling their bows and arrows, and that's fine. This is what's come to light with this this cameraman coming out. It's to my understanding that the cameraman has disappeared. His family, he cannot be reached. So I don't know if this is a ploy by Mr. Santilli, who is a promoter. Mr. Santilli, for those of you out there, is the person who came across this footage and found this cameraman. If you'd like to talk more about this, please bring it up. Please call us at 667-7434, and we'll take another call. Hello. Welcome to the Cosmic Connection. Hello? Welcome to the Cosmic Connection. Can we take another call, please? Hello? All right. Also, want to let you folks know if you were able...
Hello?
Yes, hello.
I'd like to know where you found those pictures at.
Excuse me?
How did you get a hold of the pictures?
All right, the photographs, you can download them on the BBS, our Hangar 18.
No. I'd like to know where your source is, sir.
The source for what? The video that we just showed?
Yeah.
The source was my co-host, Dennis. He received this video, and he passed it on to us, and we're passing it on to you.
Wow. All right, thanks.
Pretty shocking stuff, don't you think?
Sure is.
Have you seen the autopsy?
No, I haven't.
You haven't seen the autopsy on Fox?
No.
All right. What we will be doing, if they would like, they could re-show in the back room there on the VTR. If they could rewind that, they could show a little of that footage in the background. And hello, welcome to the Cosmic Connection. You're on. Next caller, please. Welcome to the Cosmic Connection. All right. While we're showing that, this is the video footage of the autopsy. Many of you people out there have seen it. This is very graphic. I understand it's around dinner time. So if you want to turn the channel, if those of you out there who are a little weak,
hello.
This is very graphic detail. Hello, welcome to the Cosmic Connection.
Yeah, what's that thing they're pulling out of it? I heard someone say that it was a crystal of some kind.
Yes, very good. What it is, I do not know. From this autopsy film that I have seen, it's like they knew where to look for it. It's in a tube, some kind of track tube somewhere in this alien's body. It seemed to me like they knew exactly where to go to find this. The man grabbed it, pinched it, cut it with his knife, and out it came, and they put it immediately in some kind of a container.
Did the cameraman come forward to make that statement, or is that just a quote from somebody?
That is the cameraman's statement related to, I believe, Mr. Santilli.
Oh, so he hasn't come forward since the film has been shown on Fox.
The cameraman has not come forward. In fact, the cameraman,
identity?
from reports, has disappeared. I should say no contact has been made with the cameraman recently.
So they don't know his identity?
They do know his identity. I understand Art Bell knows his identity.
What are those things?
It's been stated, these are like contact lenses. From all accounts, they are similar to contact lenses.
I have an interesting question. When were contact lenses invented?
Excuse me?
When were contact lenses invented? What year?
I imagine 15, 20 years ago.
So after this event or before it?
No, this allegedly happened in 1947.
So maybe the technology for contact lenses came from this event?
It could very well be. Could very well be. Yeah. The statement that it is like contact lenses has come from several abductee authors. Several authors and abductees have said that when they are close with an alien and have alien contact, that it has been stated that they could see through the membrane, the black eye membrane.
Well, there's one other thing I don't understand.
Sure, and your name, please?
Steve,
Steve?
if this film is so top secret and so important and so terribly, it just seems unfathomable to me that the government wouldn't want to get it from this cameraman. He kept saying they didn't want it, they weren't interested in getting it. It would seem to me this would be top priority to get it.
I found that very startling. If you heard the narration at the beginning of the program, he notified Washington that he had the rest of the film developed and they never picked it up. I thought that most startling, and I've come across this cameraman's statement just recently, within the past week.
So,
and you may also download it on our BBS. Do you have a computer with the modem? And if you have friends that do, we have a phone number. We'd like to have everyone sign up for the BBS. Steve?
no, I don't have a computer.
All right. You can write to the Cosmic Connection. I'll be more than happy to mail you that statement.
Well, I just don't. I've heard that statement. I saw the autopsy on Fox.
Right.
But I can't understand why the government would let this lay around.
I don't have an answer for you. I really don't.
You'd think if they wanted to keep this secret and so hidden for all these years, they would just scooped right down on this and grabbed it. Especially when he was trying to get a hold of them to give it to him. Isn't that what his statement was?
Well, yes, and you got to remember this is around 1947.
Right.
When he notified, he said he notified Washington that he had the rest of the reels developed.
Did he take still pictures as well?
Pardon me?
Did he take still pictures as well?
No, he was just in at the autopsy. From what I understand, he just did the filming with his camera. He was also put in a suit, just like the doctors there on your TV screen, and he took off his suit so he could use his camera better.
Now, when they found the crash site, was this cameraman with them?
Yes, not when they found it. He was ordered to go to the crash site and film.
Did he take still pictures at the crash site?
I'm not aware of that.
Did he take moving pictures
Yes.
at the crash site? Yes,
and from our reports that we've received, the movie footage, some of the canisters are still not developed.
So does Fox have some of that footage that they haven't shown and will show later?
More than likely, Fox has the videotape that we here at the Cosmic Connection have. This is a videotape. It runs about an hour and a half of the entire of the several reels that this gentleman shot.
So that metal plate you showed with the hieroglyphics, is that part of it?
Yes.
That's part of this particular videotape we're seeing here.
There are several reels. It is all on one videotape, and yes, the hieroglyphics of the I-beams are on this particular video.
Along with the boxes that they were holding?
Yes.
Now, has it been determined what those boxes are?
The statement, from what I've understand from Linda Moulton Howell, from several of the Art Bell interviews, is these are the control panels that were taken from the crash out at Socorro. It's possible that some of this debris came from a crash in Socorro, New Mexico, the San Augustine Plains also. We're dealing with two different crashes. We're dealing with a crash that happened 2 weeks before July 4th, 1947, and we're dealing with the July 4th crash, 1947. Two separate crash sites, the San Augustine Plains and the Roswell crash. The San Augustine Plains, for many, many years, has been stated that this was a crash that did not happen. The cameraman has stated that he went to the San Augustine Plains and filmed.
Now, it's been reported that President Harry Truman is on some of this footage.
Exactly.
Is that correct?
Yes, and we do not have that film yet, and Dennis is just, he just can't wait to see if this is going to be released or not. He says when this film comes out, this should answer some of the questions.
So the rumors are true then?
Yes.
Now, is this going to be shown in the near future?
I have no idea.
But Fox has this too. Do you
I do not know. I do not know. From what I understand, the canisters of film that the cameraman owned.
Are these are those the boxes right there? The control panels?
Yes.
Those are them.
Yes, and we have stills right here. If we could show a shot of that.
They have the hand imprints on them?
Yes, they do, and very, very meticulously inside the palm print and at the end of the fingers, you will notice little holes.
I see. For 6 fingers?
Yes, 6 fingers.
Okay, I'm sorry, I interrupted you about Harry Truman. That the Fox is going to show that footage at some point?
Oh, okay. The Harry Truman canisters of film that the cameraman allegedly shot have not been developed. They are still in their in the stage where they were not developed. They were still in that they just haven't been developed yet. From what this is the information that I understand.
Very interesting.
Oh, it's very interesting. I understand the skeptics could come out and you know, slam this. That's fine. This is brand new information, and I'm sure Philip Klass is having a field day.
Well, you have to understand I'm somewhat skeptical myself, but
absolutely,
it's still interesting.
Absolutely. In fact, the autopsy of the alien on the table, I had my doubts about until I spoke with the gentleman 3 weeks ago, who I trust, and I believe this is an authentic alien autopsy, and I believe this is an authentic alien.
Now, did they just do the autopsy of one alien?
From what I understand, there are 2 separate aliens that have been dissected.
Filmed?
Yes.
I see.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Ron, pretty amazing stuff.
You bet.
What have you got for us? Let's update. Let's update the Scappoose sighting. I believe we had a Scappoose sighting.
Right now,
that was September 23rd.
That was September 23rd. In fact, that weekend, they had several sightings in the Oregon area. Scappoose, there were 3 witnesses on the weekend of the 23rd, 2 men and a woman that witnessed a triangular craft for a few minutes hovering in the Scappoose area. In Salem, Oregon, there was also a sighting of a diamond-shaped craft for probably about approximately 4 minutes. It was 150 feet away from the witness. That was Saturday the 23rd. And they also had another sighting in Redmond, Washington, of a silver orb hovering above a mother and her son. Just recently, I also found out that in Arch Cape, Oregon, which is 12 miles south of Seaside off Highway 101, recent discovery of a sand circle. Now, this was noticed in an inaccessible cove at Arch Cape. Ilis from the Center for Crop Circle Studies, she's a national coordinator, recently reported the finding. This was the first sand circle to be reported in the U.S. To her knowledge. That night prior to the circle, there was a light noticed and witnessed by several people over the ocean in the same area. And now, as far as the time frame, this was sometime late August, first part of September. But I believe sightings had a segment on that also.
Will there be a sketch, an artist rendering, or a photograph of this sand circle?
There is.
I'm sure somebody must have taken a picture.
There is. Yeah, with the tide had come in twice, but they did have, from what I understand, on sightings, they had it was almost to the shape of several circles emanating out. I believe there is some video from the sightings program on that.
And that's right here in our own backyard, Oregon.
You betcha.
Seaside.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful. Hello, let's take another phone call at 667-7434. Welcome.
Hello.
Hi, your name, please.
Robert from West
Hello,
Lynn.
Robert. From where?
West Lynn.
Thank you, sir.
I'm calling in reference to the Sam's Town lights you showed several shows back.
Yes, the Sam's Town video. Very good. Of which I'd like to interrupt right now.
Please.
Sightings or encounters, one of those 2 shows, keep. I've never brought this up, but they keep showing this particular video, of which I have a very close relationship with the person that shot that Sam's Town video. The sightings or encounters keep showing this video as the lights over Area 51. This is wrong. This video and those lights that you're seeing with that mountain in the background with those antennas is in Las Vegas, Nevada, looking towards the Arizona area looking, let's say, looking southeast out of Las Vegas from Boulder Highway and Nellis Boulevard towards Henderson, Nevada, towards the Arizona border. This is the Samstown video. Those are not what you see over Area 51. Continue.
Correct. I talked.
Have you received that video from the Cosmic Connection? Are you one of those that have ordered that?
No, I just watch the show every chance I can when it's on television.
Well, I have the Samstown video available for you if you'd like.
Okay, well, just
Go
getting
ahead.
back to the Vegas area, 93-94 school year, I taught for Clark County Public School System and was very well aware of the history surrounding, the area in general as far as sightings go. And not during the weekdays, but during the weekends, granted, the Vegas nightlife, we were out partying quite frequently and till very early hours of the morning.
Sure.
And I always was, keeping my eye open. I'm not a skeptic or anything, but I'm open to things that are out there, and never really saw anything. One other thing is we had a workshop with Lawrence Livermore in conjunction with the Lawrence Livermore Laboratory.
No kidding.
And as you know, they're part of the nuclear testing program that goes on out there.
Yes.
Well, in spring of 94, we went for a field trip to the Nevada test site. And we were the mountain, I'm not sure what the name of the mountain is, but separates the test site from Area 51. The professor with Lawrence Livermore Laboratory, the only thing that he would state is that, yes, there is a research area on the other side of the mountain. I'm not sure exactly what goes on over there, but as part of my job, I keep my nose out of it.
Sure.
And he really wouldn't take any questions or anything about what was going on. And we were basically in the ground zero area where they were doing all those tests back in, the 40s and 50s, I think?
Correct.
But just getting back to it...
Well, no, they did the above-ground testing, yes, in the 40s and 50s, which later they went underground, and from what I understand, that's ceased, and the only country that is doing nuclear testing now is France, and they're doing it in the ocean.
Correct.
And anybody out there, I don't want to get on this ecological thing, but this has to stop.
I agree with that 100%. But just getting back to the Vegas area,
yes,
we several of my friends, my buddies that I used to hang out with, were in the Air Force, and they really didn't know anything either, which was at Nellis Air Force Base.
Yes.
And I lived on the corner of Nellis Boulevard and Bonanza.
I know exactly that location.
Excuse me?
I know that location exactly. I lived there for 15 years.
Wonderful. So I would approximate that it's about midpoint between Nellis and Samstown. That would be a rough estimate there.
Yes.
Which is on the side of the town,
Sunrise Mountain.
Right, just below Sunrise Mountain, and I sat many a night, either at the pool or outside, even climbing. There's a Mormon temple, I think, or something.
Yes.
At the top of, I believe it's Bonanza.
Yes, it is. I've been there.
And that was like the place to go to when I had friends or relatives come to town, and you could go up to the hill.
Right, there's a cave area at the end of that road.
I wasn't familiar with that. But we'd sit on the wall and look at the lights of Vegas because it was overlooking. It was very nice. And I really didn't see anything, and I was always anxious, hoping to see something or whatever. And one of the other curiosities that goes on is that Vegas gets a lot of visitors, and if there were any kind of lights in general in the sky, I'm sure some people would notice them. Granted, in downtown Vegas, the bright lights would obscure some of the viewing that you could see above due to the lights from the city, but I was just disappointed. I hope in the time that I was there was roughly a year that I would have seen something and didn't see anything, and I was very excited when I saw the Samstown deal, the video that you had. Because,
yes, that was taken in 1989 by a gentleman from on top of the parking garage at Samstown. And when you viewers out there order UFO 101 or 102, I make sure that every copy gets that 9-minute video footage because it's very fascinating.
Wonderful.
And it's the leaf falling that makes it very convincing. Plus, they're playing tag with the airplanes that are on the flight pattern from McCarran Airport, which is very fascinating.
Yeah. But I just wanted to call and share that with you, and I enjoy your program, and I try to keep up with it as best I can because of scheduling. I think what I'm going to do is write to you guys and see if I can't get some kind of schedule, because I'd like to catch it when it's live.
I have a brand new schedule. We're going to be on Channel 11 right now for the next 3 to 4 programs. It's every 2 weeks. I'll read them off right now. Our next program will repeat live Sunday, October 29th at 6 p.m., Channel 11. Sunday, November 26th, that will be a month later. Sunday, November 26th, 6 p.m., Channel 11. Sunday, December 10th, 6 p.m., Channel 11. The Sunday, December 24th, Christmas Eve, I have elected not to do a program that evening for personal and our crew's benefit. What we will do is we will show the repeat of the Mr. Roswell interview for Sunday, December 24th. Get your VCRs if you haven't seen that program. It's a very fascinating program dealing with a gentleman who had dealings with the Roswell incident from 1950 on. And that's about as far as I'll go. You're just going to have to see that. Hello, welcome to the Cosmic Connection. Hi. Yes, welcome. We'll take your phone call now. All right. I'd like to let you people know out there, we're going to have a deep space star party, ladies and gentlemen. Listen up. Weather permitting, Friday, October 20th, 1995. This will be at Wilsonville Memorial Park. Wilsonville Memorial Park, Friday, October 20th, weather permitting. This will be brought to you by Brian Minton and Stan Seberg with the Rose City Astronomers Club. We ask you to show up at around 8 p.m. This will go on 8 p.m. until featuring telescopes that will astound you, featuring also the planet Saturn with its tilted rings, globular and open star clusters, galaxies including the Andromeda Galaxy, diffuse and planetary nebula. I have seen these scopes that these people bring out to these get-togethers. These scopes are fantastic. Some of them measure anywhere from 10 to 14 feet in length, a 3 to 6 foot circumference. They bring them in on trailers. You're going to see sights that in a lifetime people have not seen. So you may bring the little ones out. This will be a family get-together. This will be, directions will be I-5 south to Wilsonville Road, left under freeway to first traffic signal, past the Wilsonville Library, turn right, take your first left into the Wilsonville Park entrance, and you will be there. Ladies and gentlemen, if weather is not permitting on the Friday, October 20th, then it will be scheduled for the next day, Saturday, October 21st. If you'd like more information, you got to understand this is next week, ladies and gentlemen. Please call us at 667-7434 after the program, and I will read these directions off to you again. Welcome to the Cosmic Connection. Hi, hello.
Hey, how you doing?
Hello, your name, please?
Brian.
Brian, welcome to the show.
How you doing?
Great, go ahead.
Just one thing, I'm loving this footage. I just wanted to know, is there a more intense footage of the wreckage or the autopsy?
There is more intense footage of the autopsy. There is no footage yet that we have been able to discover dealing with the alleged Truman walking through the crash site.
Yeah, that's...
We do have the footage of the autopsy and the wreckage. And if you'd like more about that, you can write to the Cosmic Connection, and we'll make this available to you.
Great, I will. Yeah, I'm originally from Lake Tahoe, and back there we're really big and active in Schwa from Reno, and we've seen a lot of strange things.
Yes, Mount Shasta.
You, but I won't.
Right?
Wish I could share the things I've seen with you, but I won't.
Well, how about the Mount Shasta area?
Not really familiar with that. I was more into the research of the underground bases. I've seen some air duct tunnels of where they're supposed to be popping up.
Yes.
Things like that. We're really avid in Bill Cooper, and it was just really a lot of fun. And I'm glad to come up to Portland and see what's going on up here, too.
Excellent. Well, write us a letter. Write down some of the information. there's an author by the name of William Hamilton, Bill Hamilton. I believe we have his book on this desk. If we could get a shot of that, it's the one with the flying saucer and the military people in that. That I believe brings up some of the underground bases. If you're interested in that.
Great,
all right, Brian.
Great. Okay, I'm going to write to you. So,
Thank you very much. You will receive an answer, and please send a self-addressed envelope. Thank you very much. Comments?
Yeah, there's another book out that deals with the underground bases. Commander X, he's got quite a few books out. This one particular book that kind of coincides with Cosmic Top Secrets called The Ultimate Deception. So if the caller, Powell's Books, I believe, carries it. It's called the author's
Towers, we must mention.
Yes.
A local
bookstore.
Yes.
But it's called The Ultimate Deception by Commander X, which is a very, very interesting reading.
I'd like to break from tradition here. Ron, please, I'd like to hear your story. Do you mind telling us your story about 1973?
73 or 70...
You were at a certain place in 1973. Can we bring that up or take a call? Maelstrom.
Interesting. Actually, that was a little bit later. It was 1977 was the time I was at Maelstrom Air Force Base. And we were called upon a crash site, which at the time I was with the 8th Air Force. It's Strategic Air Command, actually, up there, and that's a missile base. And we were called upon a crash site approximately 90 miles from the base, around Stafford, Montana. 90 miles. 90 miles. From the base in Stafford, Montana, out of sight of Great Falls. Basically, we arrived on the site. They cordoned off approximately 20 to 30 miles from the perimeter of the actual crash site. We arrived at the site. There were probably 30 to 40 security policemen at the site. They had 2 helicopter gunships in the air, along with gun mounts on each side of the stretch of highway, which was Highway 97. M60s up on the hills, bunkered, and there was quite a bit of debris.
And you were a first-hand witness to this. You were there.
I was there.
Your job to be there.
I was there, and I was assigned to the 341st Strategic Air Command. Actually, SAC was part of the missile wing, 341st Missile Wing. And basically, there were a lot of security there. It was not a downed aircraft. They had a white, long tractor-trailer piece of apparatus there, and there was also Department of Energy personnel there in blue and white coveralls. I believe, this is my own personal insight, that this was a craft of unknown origin with the debris that was in the field on each side of the highway, along with the security. The traffic was rerouted approximately 30 miles around the site. If anybody that has looked at our PBS on Hangar 18, there is a write-up as far as from the the Freedom of Information Act files that'll coincide with the several sightings we had in Maelstrom, around Maelstrom at that time.
No kidding.
In fact,
I did not know this.
One of your callers I had talked to was stationed at Maelstrom same time I was there. And he was declassifying and editing a lot of the UFO sightings that they had around a lot of the missile sites there at the base. And this is from 1975 to 1977. That's approximately the same time I was there.
And just after the tampering with the ICBM missiles, the launch codes were tampered with from Kraft. Hello, welcome to the Cosmic Connection. Hi, you're next.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Welcome.
I have 2 questions.
Sure, your name, please?
Marilyn.
Hi, Marilyn.
One is, has the film footage of the autopsy been analyzed by any laboratory or anything?
From what I understand, now, from seeing the Fox footage, Dennis brought this to mind that they talked to a gentleman from Kodak I am not sure that this gentleman was representing Kodak. In fact, from what I understand, Kodak was a little upset that this gentleman was stating that his affiliation with Kodak and that he was an authentic person with credentials to say yay or nay on this film. So I'm going to have to state right now that that's up in the air on that. There's a lot of things up in the air, and I will admit this. Yes.
Okay. Well,
so that didn't answer your question.
Well, that's okay. My brother, who's into this sort of thing much more than I am, he does a lot more reading, and he was saying that he understood that the film had pretty much been debunked, and he's not a Philip Glass fan or anything.
Sure.
But I didn't get to talk to him any longer about where the source was of the debunking.
Sure.
And do you have any idea or who's coming out saying it's fake?
No, I do not. All I can say is that the powers that be have not come up. It hasn't been said yay or nay on this. It's like Dennis says, like we say, it's in the gray basket. Everybody's looking at this. It's very shocking. All I can say is we're presenting it to you, and just by seeing a film, there's no way that you could say this is true or false. This is the information. This is what the Cosmic Connection is about. We give it to you folks out there. The media, slowly but surely, is coming out with this, and we'll have to. It's a game. It's a big game that's being played right now.
Okay, I guess I have 3 questions then.
Sure, go ahead.
One is about something that I've been observing since about 1986 that I call USOs. Stationary objects that appear in the sky that I looked at through binoculars, which aren't the best way to do it.
And you said USOs, right?
Yeah, and I'm
unidentified stationary objects.
Right.
I have heard of this happening.
Pardon me?
I have heard of these.
Oh, you have? Because I've never ever read about them in any of the reading.
No, I have never heard about it. I've heard them reported on this program.
Oh, you have?
Yes, ma'am, I have. What I have heard is that, especially in the Mount Hood area, there are objects that will just hang motionless for 40, 30 minutes to an hour, and then will not be there the next night and disappear that evening. And the people who are pretty familiar with star patterns and things like that saying these are not stars.
Okay, well, I've seen them last even longer, like months at a time, and when I've looked at them, they appear to have separate lights that remind me of lighthouse lights that kind of turn and flash.
All right, now this is a phenomenon. Was it low to the horizon?
Yes.
All right, this particular where they blink, it's the atmosphere that is in. The atmosphere is coming between the planet or the star and yourself, and that's why Venus has been cited as a UFO, because it looks like it jumps around, and it's the atmosphere in the sky that's making this happen.
Okay, well, I've looked at Venus, and these appear to be separate lights, like red and amber and green.
This is the phenomenon that will take place.
Oh, is that right?
Yes, I'm not saying that's the explanation for it, but there is a major explanation for this type of happening.
Oh, because one of them I saw lasted for months, and then it disappeared. And I thought it wasn't a star,
Sure.
if it did that.
Sure.
Okay.
Ron has a comment.
One thing I might suggest is, if you're interested in where the lights are, local bookstore, pick up a star chart for this area, for the northern hemisphere, because a lot of times too with the planets, and notice that the stars will twinkle, the planets are just a steady glow, and depending on where the location is, but you have your inversion at the edge of the horizon, your heat rising, and along with that, that's going to give you a color change. But just picked up a local star chart, and it's very easy to figure out which star or which planet you're looking at.
Okay, how far above the horizon are we talking about before this phenomenon doesn't happen anymore?
Anywhere from 20 to 45 degrees.
Oh.
To 30 degrees.
Okay.
30 degrees. And, I've heard UFO, Stanton Friedman, physicist Dr. Stanton Friedman state this phenomenon, also John Lear.
Oh, okay. Well, I really like your show.
I'm not saying that's the answer for what you saw. I'm saying that's a possible answer.
Okay. Well, thanks.
Marilyn, are we going to see you out at the Deep Space Star Party?
Well, I probably can't make that, but I'll keep watching.
All right, thank you very much. And ladies and gentlemen, that is the Deep Space Star Party out at Wilsonville Memorial Park in Wilsonville, weather permitting. Friday, October 20th, 1995, begins at 8 p.m. till, or weather permitting, Saturday, October 20th, 21st. This is not a two-day event. It will either be Friday night. If the skies are not clear, it will be scheduled for Saturday. It will be a one-time event. And this will be brought to you by the Rose City Astronomers Club. And that's I-5 south to Wilsonville Road, left under freeway to first traffic signal past the Wilsonville Library. That is the first traffic signal past the Wilsonville Library. Turn right. Take your first left into Wilsonville Memorial Park entrance. Welcome to the Cosmic Connection. Hello.
Hi.
Hi, your name, please?
Dave.
Dave, welcome, sir.
Hi. Two things. One, this is the first chance I've had to see the hieroglyphs. I noticed parts of them look similar to some of the crop circles.
Yes, very much so. In fact, the cameraman's working on that right now. Continue.
And my wife wanted to know about the Kingman incident.
Kingman, Arizona, 1952-53, I believe. A crash allegedly crashed in Kingman, Arizona. This is one that I'm very interested in. Several scientists were flown to Las Vegas, in turn taken from buses to Arizona. They didn't know where they were going. Somewhere in the desert. They said it was a 3 to 4 hour drive, which would be, in that case, from Las Vegas or the surrounding areas there. They were taken in a blacked out window type bus, of which Bob Lazar states that he's ridden on many times, to the area S4. A craft crashed. There was tents set up, and autopsies and medical aid was being administered to live aliens, and so to speak, dead aliens were also with this. It stated anywhere from 3 to 5 or 6 aliens were with this particular crash.
Are you sure it was 57 and not 56?
No, I'm saying 1952, 53.
Oh. Well, she lived there in 56 and saw a similar thing going on.
Saw similar what?
All the activity and, well, here.
Here, I'll take over.
Hello.
Yeah, I lived in Casa Grande, Arizona.
All right.
And I was out in the street with a girlfriend of mine, and we saw this thing fly over, and it looked like a yellowish-green ball of fire. And it was going from southeast to northwest.
1956?
Yeah.
What month?
I
Season?
Really couldn't tell you. It was in the summertime.
In the summer. Okay, that's fine. That narrows it down. And you saw a craft fly over. Now, did it look like it crashed?
No, because it looked like it was probably 2,000 or 3,000 feet off of the ground, and it was just this glowing ball of fire going across the sky, and the sky was clear. There was
How about
no
a meteorite?
clouds.
I mean, that's the first thing someone's going to say.
What?
A meteorite.
Well, I would have thought that it would. You'd have heard it crash or felt it crash. It was too low to the ground, or heard something.
Now, did it change direction?
No, it was going straight.
Like a ball out
to northwest. And I ran in the house and I told my mom about it, because I thought maybe it was an airplane crash, but there was nothing ever said about it.
Sure.
So I just forgot about it, and I just recently heard about the Kingman incident.
Yes.
So I wanted to know everything about it.
Well, I've never heard of it. You saw definitely something in 1956?
Yeah.
In the summer of 1956 in Casa Grande, Arizona?
Yeah.
Fantastic. I have not heard anything to that, and that's what this program is about.
Huh.
Yeah, it's out there. The show will repeat many times, and we'll see if we get any feedback on that.
Okay, I watch you all the time.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And your name?
Lynn.
Lynn and Dave.
Uh-huh.
Thank you very much. Thank you, ma'am. Time, gentlemen? Our watches seem to be off.
Got about 6 minutes.
6 minutes left. All right, let's take another call. Hi, welcome to the Cosmic Connection. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, welcome.
Hey, my name's Jack. How you doing?
Jack, welcome, sir.
I want to talk to you for a while. I got a couple questions for you.
All right, we have about. I can give you 2 minutes.
That's fine. That'll be plenty of time. First off, I want to talk to you about Mr. Roswell. Since you happen to know who this gentleman is, can you tell everybody else who this gentleman is so we know what's going on also?
Well, you want me to tell you his name?
Yeah, sure.
No. No,
Well,
he asked
like
me
your
not to
reporter is,
release
well,
his
then you
name,
have
and
to have some type
I
of
will not.
confidentiality. I mean, you guys know who he is, and so does everybody else.
Excuse
Maybe we
me?
should lend some credence to who he is by you telling us what he is or why we should believe what he has to say.
We did an interview with him. You saw the interview?
Yeah, I saw the interview.
Right. The man wishes to remain anonymous, and for right now, I will protect his identity.
But, I mean, you guys know who he is. He's obviously not anonymous. John Lear knows who he is. Milton Friedman, all those people do, so he can't be too anonymous.
It depends on if we're talking about the cameraman or Mr. Roswell.
No, we're talking about Mr. Roswell right now. But
all right.
I understand what your position is. Secondly, about 2 weeks ago, you said that you had information to show that the camera film footage from the autopsy was true, and that you had information saying almost 100% accuracy that it was definitely true.
Yes, I received. Yes, I understand. I understand your apprehensiveness on this. Yes.
Well, I'm not apprehensive at all. It's just you're holding back information that could be useful to lots of other people too. It couldn't be detrimental to too many people, but it could be very useful. And it seems that, like you said, you were possibly part of the cover-up. That does seem to be maybe apparent from our perspective that you guys are holding back information that could be crucial. Like the gentleman that's on your show with you tonight, Ron. What was his rank? What was his position with the 8th Air Force? That he was there at the crash site? And how many crashes have there been that we don't know about? Why isn't this type of information being brought out by more and more people, which would lead more credence to the fact that the government's hiding something, a.k.a. more people to research, instead of people trying to keep the information to themselves and say, well, I know what the information, but I'm not going to tell anybody else. Oh.
Jack, I concur with everything that you've stated. We have to go. Noodles, happy birthday, little one. Happy birthday to you, and I hope you have a fine birthday party today. Really good one, my friend. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back on the air October 29th at 6 p.m., Channel 11. It's been a fast hour. I want to thank you very much for calling. Call us at 667-7434 after the program if you'd like to talk to myself or Ron. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Good evening.
Seen some good times, seen some bad. Some of us don't realize what we've had or what we have. All the time keeps ticking, Mother Nature cries. Some of us don't listen, have to see it with our eyes. People live, people die, just like traffic on the freeway of life. Some people give, some people try. Some people say they do, but they're just telling lies. Just a drifter, drifting day to day. Who would have thought it would turn out this way? Far away. Say they do, but they're just telling lies. Oh,